Hi there, welcome to 60 Matthews. I'm Matthew, this is Amy, and this is her van, Wendy.
Welcome. Come on inside. So I just want to show you the entrance area first. So as you come into the lobby, I really wanted this area to be kind of open because my dog Siku needs some space to move around and be dirty. Over here I just have some storage things with just random things that don't mind getting wet, because sometimes I leave that side door open and inevitably rain comes inside. So I just have some of my water bottles that are easy to drink from and also easy to fill up wherever I am. So if I run into a coffee shop or a gas station, these are very acceptable forms of water containers to be filling up on the regular. My plethora of shoes here, just some garbage bags. I just use regular shopping bags for the garbage. Some hand sanitizer so we can stay safe all the time, and then just sunglasses. And over here is one of my favorite parts of the van. It kind of was a happy accident. I knew I wanted some place to hang wet stuff specifically, so if I was coming out of the rain, I needed some place to put specifically my rain jacket. So this hook is always dedicated to my rain gear, so when I come in, I know I have a place to put it. And this hook over here is just constantly in flux depending on what season it is. If it's cold out, you'll see a jacket or two hanging here, maybe a flannel shirt. But now, since we're moving into warmer weather, I usually have just my day pack. It's easy to throw some water bottles in, whether I'm going hiking or to the gym or anywhere else. And then I just got this new hat, so it kind of hangs here. It's one of my favorites. It's by Wild Slice. And then I found this plaque, just this piece of wood in the woods, and I just fell in love with it, so I burned Wendy's name into it. I get a lot of questions when people don't know that the van's name's Wendy, but I love it. Wendy's really cool too because there's a lot of storage in the doors here. So as you can see, some of my wet shoes and muddy shoes can just slip down in the door there. I also put up some hooks to hang Siku's leashes and his harnesses when he doesn't need to be wearing them. And I can stuff things in all four of the doors in this van, so it's really nice storage-wise. This is my desk area. It was really important to me to have a dedicated space to work. I do work part-time at a rock climbing gym, but I'm also starting a copywriting business, and I do some audiobook narration on the side. So it's really important that I have a dedicated space to come and sit down and set up my computer or anything else I'm working on here. I'm also an avid reader, so having little places to hide away books was really important to me. Up here, I have some of my favorite books. I've read them a million times, so they are here for easy access. I also have some other entertainment. I've just started gaming a little bit, and it's nice when I'm on the road to have just some Nintendo simple games to play. Underneath the desk here is mostly dedicated to Siku stuff, my dog stuff. So I have a basket with just some wet dog food and treats. He even has a little life jacket and anything else that he needs, as well as his dog food's kind of tucked away under there. I also built a little shelf that holds a smaller Jackery battery. It's just got built-in plugs and stuff like that for the battery. Also some other books and candles and really whatever else I need to throw down there at the time. In a van, it's really important that everything has its own place and that it can tuck away really easily. So when you're moving, you don't want to have to pick everything up and find all these little places to put it. So I try to have everything flow really well. So I have a bag here that pretty much holds all of my computer gear, from iPads to notebooks to my main computer. So when I'm working at a coffee shop, it's usually packed up to go. I can just grab it and it's got most of my gear in it. And then when I'm moving, if I do have my computer out, I can easily put it in that bag and I'm ready to go. Also, my pillows fit nicely in here, so if I do have things hanging out on the desk, as you can see, I do have some things that are a little loose up here. My pillows can stuff in there really easily and it helps secure everything. So between the driver and passenger seat, I've decided to place my Dometic fridge there. It is powered by a little Goal Zero Yeti 400. It's just a small battery. I will probably end up linking another battery to it just to increase my wattage in here, but right now it works okay. And yeah, in the fridge, I just keep whatever I need to keep. Right now it's just applesauce and some of Siku's wet dog food. Yeah, he's the watcher of the fridge. So my dog Siku is a really important part of my life, so it's important that he's very comfortable while he's in here. He's got his eating station as well as his little bedroom here, and he loves it. It's really cushy back there. He's a really anxious, scared guy, so he enjoys having a place that he can kind of hunker down that feels cave-like. This is my bed. I love it. It's been through a couple of iterations before I got to its perfect placement now. It is just a 6-inch foam mattress. You can't really see it. It's got a memory foam built-in topper as part of the mattress, so it makes it really nice. Right now I have a couple of layers of blankets on it because we still are in springtime here, so it gets a little chilly at night sometimes. So underneath the bed I have a lot of storage. The front quadrant of the bed is pretty much just kind of overflow books and stuff like that, and I can reach that actually underneath the desk, so I didn't need immediate access to that. Further back under the desk I have this little bin is mostly just my camping supplies, but conveniently I have this little stove that I use for indoor cooking, and it fits just right on top of this Tupperware. Then I have just a little basket. It has my farmer's market basket in it, as well as just some overflow things. Whatever I have that just needs an extra spot, I can throw in here. And then in this basket, I do just have some dishes in there now. So coffee cups and bowls and plates and a couple pots and pans are here. And it just slides out. Most of my cooking is done toward the end of the van here, so it's easy to access there. I also put this back part of the bed on a hinge, so if I need to, I can actually lift up the bed here and get underneath it, and since it's just a foam mattress, it's fairly easy to get to the back part of that bed as van easy goes. And I just have some extra stuff like sleeping bags and things that I don't really need to get to. And as we move back towards the back of the van, I have the necessary longboard that every van lifer has to have. As well as just like a chair. I have some of my water here. I learned that with the doors open, sometimes the sun actually burns through, burns the floor through these. It acts as a magnifying glass. So I have this easy fix of just covering it up with a cloth there. And of course I have yoga stuff and like a broom to clean things up with. So this countertop here is where I do most of my main cooking if I'm cooking inside the van. I hope to be able to cook a lot outside as well. So this countertop actually has a really cool story behind it. One of my favorite coffee shops in town was replacing their countertop, and I happened to be there while it was going down. I asked the owner what they were doing with the countertop, and she said I could have it. So I actually was able to make this countertop as well as my closet over here out of their main bar there. So that's a really cool thing I have going on here. I mostly cook with the little stove that I mentioned earlier, and I found that it fit here nicely, but it was overflowing the counter a little bit, so I needed a solution to that. And what I came up with for now is this little board comes in and just supports this, and it makes that flat enough for the stove to sit on it, and it gives me a little extra cooking space. You might have noticed that this paper towel holder here might be a fire hazard sometimes. It is, but it's conveniently on a little carabiner clip, so it can be moved to pretty much anywhere that I can hook it onto, which is nice. I've really fallen in love with carabiners living in a van because I love just clipping things on. So I have my kitchen area. Coffee is really important to me. Like a lot of people, I start my day out with a cup of coffee, so I like to have that stuff convenient to me. A lot of times I'll use my little camp stove here if I'm cooking a meal at the same time, but my favorite thing to do is I actually have a little pocket rocket, and I just get a canister out. It's just a backpacking stove, and I can set it up really quickly and have water boiled in a couple of minutes, and use my French press over here to make me some coffee. And I love just having my grinder, my coffee beans, and everything really conveniently placed right there. And then if you move on, this basket is just whatever will fit in it food-wise. So sometimes chips, sometimes just my pasta sauce and stuff that's heavy and too tall to fit up here. This is kind of my overflow food area. It's got tea up here and canned goods and whatever else I need. I do like to put some of these natural accents throughout because I think it makes it feel a little more naturey and homey at the same time. I also got this little 3-drawer system here. I don't like having a whole lot of plastic surrounding me. Moving in the van, I got to make some of those decisions to start moving away from plastic items, and I do that whenever I can, but drawers are pretty important when in the van. Right now, the top one just usually has like hot chocolate and oatmeal packets and stuff like that. The bottom does have the metal extensions for like my Coleman stoves, as well as baby wipes, because you might have noticed that there is not a sink in this van. I've decided to go without a sink. I do have some ways that I could potentially wash dishes outside, but for now I'm going with the baby wipe method, and it seems to have worked so far. Also, I really love having towels around at all times because I'm a messy person and I always have things on my fingers or need to clean things up, so it's nice. The hook here, the little handle here works great just to hang whatever towels I need at the time. And I also have just my shopping bags here. It's nice to be able to come and just clip those in there when I'm coming back from the grocery store and not ready to start unloading groceries yet. And I just made this little shelf unit here. I'm experimenting with having my utensils here so that they're a little bit more accessible, and it's nice. They're just all thrown in there now. And since there's a lip on the top of that container, it kind of holds it in place so it doesn't come sliding off when I'm driving around town. So my closet was another happy accident. I was living in the van and just experimenting with some different design elements, and I strung up a wire at one point just to hang up some things that were better suited for hanging, and I fell in love with it. I just loved that convenience of knowing some of my clothes could be hung up that were a little bit longer and not having to come up with a way to stuff them and make them convenient. So my jackets stay here, some of my sweaters. I have a ton of clothes for somebody that lives in a van, but I do wear them all. And then just like some toiletry stuff also lives here, like my brush. I can get ready in the morning. I also have like a spit cup and a toothbrush here for when I'm brushing my teeth and I don't have a sink available. And then underneath here, it also created a space that I could put another container for my folded clothes. If you're thinking about moving in a van, I cannot tell you how convenient these little cubes are in helping to just organize things. And these shirts normally will just be flowing all over the place, but since they're in this contained unit, it makes it a lot easier, and then it just fits down on top of my pants. and that slides in. And then next to it I have a bag that I'm experimenting with that also has toiletry things in it. I'm hoping it'll be really convenient when I am taking a shower or at a place that has shower-like facilities. I could just grab that bag. It'll have everything in it to go, so I'm not having to roam about trying to gather all of my toiletry equipment. Thanks for checking out my van. We hoped you had a good time taking a tour. Seiko and I are going to get back to living in a van.